And we are live. This is the first episode of the Talking with series in 2022, and I wanted a really special guest to kickstart this year. So today I have my friend Pratim. Pratim is an amazing person and developer. She will be huge this year, also in the upcoming ones. So welcome, Pratim. How are you?
Thank you so much, Francesco. Thank you for making me your first guest. And yeah, I'm good. I'm really excited, a little bit nervous because this is my first interview, that too with you, who's you're really important to me, and yeah, I'm looking forward to this interview. Let's hope I do not screw up, basically.
Perfect. No, but we can edit after. Ah, no, this is live. No, so we can't. Hey, Rob. Hey, Ajit. Hey, Aldrin.
Hello.
How are you? Amazing people. Hi, everyone. I really wish you the best luck for 2022. I also forgot to introduce Pratim in the proper way. Because Pratim does a lot of stuff. She's a developer advocate. She does public speaking. She's getting into Web3. So we are also similar in many ways because we are also in the developer advocacy world. We will collaborate. I think we will see us collaborating a lot during
In future.
2022. Nice.
Yes, sure, for sure.
Perfect. And probably I'll also be his guest on a Twitter space in a couple of weeks, but we are still working
Always,
on this.
always.
There we go. Hi, Antariksh. Please help me with the pronunciation
Yes,
of
it's
Indian
Antariksh.
names. Okay,
It's
Antariksh.
Antariksh.
A
Yeah.
son. Hello, Pratim, and not Francesco. Okay, so you just have to reply. There we go. Hello, everyone.
Yeah.
Yes, is right. Hello, Pratim and Francesco. There we go. Perfect. Pratim, so I had the honor to have you on your very first live stream. So when you will be famous, please remember your old friends.
Oh,
And
if I ever write autobiography, you will be on the first page. Don't worry, Francesco.
I'm looking forward for that. Really looking forward for that.
Yeah.
Nice. So, Pratim, we have a lot of things to talk about because you do
Yeah.
too much stuff. It's your fault. So let's start from the beginning. How did you get into tech? Have you always been a tech person, or what was you doing before stepping into tech? Thank you.
Well, my answer to this question is really, really boring. Like, if you're expecting some background story to it, so that isn't the case. So, as usual, I did not want to be anything. I did not want anything related to technology. I wanted to be a chef. I love cooking, so I always wanted to be a chef. I wanted to be an experimental cook. But in India, there is this one thing with parents that you have to do engineering because there is a lot of scope in engineering. And engineering is the best way to get you started with your career, and like that's how I was pushed into engineering. And then even in engineering, what's going to get you started with your career the fastest, and the only option left was computer science. Then it was like, why not computer science it is. And that is literally how I put my first step in the computer science college. And I really did not like it on my first day. Not just first day, I hated my whole first year. But then from third year, when I realized like what can I achieve and what are the different capabilities that I can conquer, you can say, with tech, that's when I started having more interest in the whole tech world. So for me, it was pretty late.
Okay, I hope that they haven't pushed you physically, but but let's say that I think we also in the chat we liked this because otherwise maybe you would not be here today. So maybe you're now. It seems that you're also very passionate about the coding, but I also follow you on Instagram. By the way, we can follow the team in basically everywhere in some links below. But before, okay, so nice. So before maybe we get into the real tech part, I wanted to ask you something. Let me play the devil's advocate role because I've seen that you also shared, for example, you stretching some pictures of you running. I think people who shares pictures of them working and running, they're a bit crazy, to be honest. But why is this useful? I mean, we are coders, so we don't really need to exercise, right?
I think okay, you're playing the role of devil's advocate really really well. Let me give you that. You deserve an Oscar here. But
Sorry, but this question makes me laugh. How to download Web3? We will get back into this all later.
I
Sorry, this was
wish
fun.
I wish we could download Web3 like that. I wish, but yeah, coming back to the question, I think if no one else, developers and people in tech are the ones who have to actually take care of their fitness, because I think I've said this lot on Twitter and on my social media platform that if you want to be in the tech community and in the tech journey for a long time, like if you know that this is a marathon, you have to make sure that your fitness and your health is right. And unfortunately, the work that we do requires a lot of requires us to be in the same position for a very long time. And not just that, like we are facing the computers for a very long time, and our posture is let's sit straight, the fact that I'm talking about posture, but our postures are really really not good most of the time. And to be honest, on a long term, it has really really bad effects on us. So I think fitness is something that everyone and anyone should start taking it seriously, because if not now, then never, I guess. And you do not want to be at a point where you have back pain, you have arm pain, your eyes are hurting, you have migraines, and this is just the basic. Trust me, this can get very sad and bad if you do not take care of your health. So yeah, make sure you're jogging in the morning.
Yeah, I totally agree with this. I think this has been have been some of the blockers to before stepping into tech, because I worked in a gym for 20 years. So for me, going from working on in the gym to sitting down on a chair, because I was also I work in the office, it was shocking. I was going to the toilet every 30 minutes. I think people thought that I had some problem because just I wanted to step up, and so I was walking around the office, and also I was doing some works during the lunch breaks. But okay, people in the chat is on fire. I really
Okay.
loved this, Evida. How are you? I hope you are fine. Okay, nice. So
Also,
yeah,
one
go.
thing that I realize is this won't have effects on your body right now. Like if you do not work out right now, if you do not keep yourself fit, I don't think for the next 5 years it will make any effect on you. But after 5 years, like how everything compounds, like we talk a lot about compounding, money compounding, everything, the health hazards are going to literally compound. And then I have some friends who literally stopped coding because they could not move their fingers. And we know, for developers and for people from tech, how important it is for us to stay on the keyboard. So please make sure you're moving. Basic stretches also, if you do daily, I think that should be good for you. Yeah, as
Yeah.
Daniel is saying, the greatest wealth is health.
Yeah, and of course, for example, people think that I am active in the fitness, but now I'm just I'm relaxing. But I'm almost 40, so it's
Please, please.
it's nice. It's nice. Nice, Pratim. So we have too many topics to talk about, so we have to go
Yes,
fast, because
yes.
otherwise we'll miss some topics, and I have to invite you again. So I don't want to invite you again, so I'll try to make all the questions now. I'm
Right.
joking, joking. Okay,
Okay.
so about public speaking, we have talked a lot about this also in DMs,
Right.
in
Right.
groups,
Right.
how to get started with public speaking. It has been also a problem for me. But wait, if you have any, yeah, there are some questions. But now I'm doing this. So about public speaking, how can we first of all get started and also improve? And is this something that you're born with that, or you can also improve over time?
Right. That's a great question, Francesco. And I have a lot of people who've always asked me, how do I get started with public speaking? And I have one answer. Like there's a single answer to this. Like there is no getting started with public speaking. It's just that you slowly involve yourself in more conversations. And as you're involving yourself in more conversations, the audience of these conversation increases. So if you, the literal meaning of public speaking is speaking in front of the public, speaking in public. So just try to open up. Like, I know it's a bit difficult with introverts to open up, and it comes a lot from imposter syndrome or thinking that will people judge me. If you feel like that, something that has always worked for me is, from the whole audience, from the whole crowd, just look at one person that you trust. There's always going to be someone. Just look at that one person, and think like it's a conversation, it's a one-on-one conversation, and talk to that person. And just for the sake of formality, make sure you look here and there. But yeah, I think with the whole COVID situation right now, this is the best time for you to get into public speaking, because social media, there wouldn't be any other platform better than social media to polish your skills. And I've seen the benefits of public speaking, how much important it is to have your communications up your sleeves. So yeah, please start. And if you still have any doubts, you can always reach out to me, or I think even Francesco is the master of public speaking now. So yes, I hope that's answered your question,
I
Francesco.
like you to consider me the master of public speaking, even if I'm not at all. But I think that the people who had the biggest issues and problems, they can understand which can be the problems. I made a call today with a person who I didn't know, and I tried to give some advice because, of course, I experienced all the bad stuff. So yes, and but I think that even if you're introverted, if you're scared, if you're shy, okay, but I think that once you start to see all the opportunities, the money,
Right.
the opportunities, the offering, that's true, because this can turn
That's true.
into
That's true.
real opportunities. It's not that you're doing just do this. So you can really come out, and
Right.
you should not stop and at least try.
Yes.
Let's say I, I've interviewed almost 150 people. None of them said like I did one video and then it became harder. Nobody said
Right.
this.
Right.
I'm still looking
Exactly.
for the first one, so it
And
will always get easier. Go.
yeah, and something that is like, people are scared of being wrong on, like, while you're talking in front of the audience. What if I go wrong? There are so many people who will catch that mistake. Trust me, we are humans, you are going to make mistakes. I do not even Steve Jobs must have made mistakes in his speeches, right? It's okay. And if someone's going to hold you for that mistake, then it's their issue. The next time that you're going on stage, you're always going to get better. You are going to learn from it. And I guess, how, as Minakshi is asking, how do you deal with anxiety? I think
Yeah.
the best way to deal with anxiety, as I said initially, is just looking at one person from the whole crowd and imagining that you're in an empty room with that one person, and literally shutting off everything else. Like, shut off the whole mindset that people are listening to me, and just focus on that one person. Focus on the topic that you're thinking. Have some mind map in your head, which will help you navigate through your topics. Like, okay, this is the first topic I want to talk about, then next, then next, then next, and just go with the flow. Yeah, that's how I do it.
Nice. I can give my 2 cents. It's first of all, it's better if you do this with someone else, like Pratim is doing now, for example. And also, if you talk about something that you are really passionate. For example, I did my very first webinar about Docker, so I could not say no for various reasons. First of all, because
Exactly.
Danny Thompson invited me, so it was harder to say no to him because he was already my friend. So I would suggest, I don't know, if you like to talk about something, it's easier because you are passionate about that, even if you're not perfect, even if your English is not perfect. But it's just easier for you to talk about something that you like. If you like even gym, running, if you like, it's for example, I don't know if in your case can be food or something else, just to get started. Just to get
Right.
started. I'm serious. And then once you get started, you understand a lot of things that you should check into the camera if you want to say something direct to the people. There are many things, many technical things, but I think the most important thing is to start the earlier as possible.
Absolutely.
No, sorry. Razi just wishing to you.
Hello,
So,
Raza. It's so good
perfect.
to see you here. Thank you so
Nice,
much, everyone.
nice. It's great to have you here. Let's see. That's it. To be honest, for me, these tricks they don't work better. I don't know. Maybe my brain is too smart. Are Pratam and Pratim siblings? I don't think so. It can be.
Well, I do. He does call me Didi. He does. So Didi in English means, in Hindi, Didi means elder sister, so he does call me Didi. So you can say
Nice.
so.
Nice. Okay. So, what was your first industry exposure, like internship or anything else? I think into tech. I think he's talking Yashar. I think you are talking about tech, and then we'll step into developer advocacy. So stay tuned.
Done. My first internship was with UBS, as UBS is an Swiss investment bank, and they had come to our college for pre-placements and for internships, and I bagged it in my third year. I got an interview call from them, and yeah, I interned with them for around 2.5 months, and after that, then I got the whole though I really liked have doing internships, and that was the day I decided, okay, I cannot stop doing internships, because first, the stipend is great, second, the exposure is amazing, third, you do not have to attend college if you're doing internships. So I just kept looking for more internships, and throughout, after my fourth year, I did a lot of internships with startups, with just with friends or something anyhow, but I kept doing internships. And if you want to know, like, the exposure, something that, because I work with an MNC, because I work with an investment bank, it gave me the professionalism that I have today. I got that very, very early in my stage. And how do you be professional in your work environment? How do you make sure you draw boundaries? Like, even the life skills rather than the technical skills only, that is something that I picked up very quickly during my college days itself. So the exposure was amazing. And yeah, I'm really glad I got that. Because of that, I can say where I am today. And yeah, my public speaking has also improved a lot because of that.
Nice. It has
I
been
hope that answered.
a
Yes.
long journey, already a long journey. So I was about to make this question. So Ajit, now it's your turn. Ajit, I hope that I pronounced that well. Can you
Yes, you
define
did.
more about developer advocate role? So I still get very kind of often like, what is a developer advocate? So we are still steps in that phase where we
Yeah.
have people asking what is that, and I think they are like literally asking for the basics. So we can also have
Right.
some discussions, but maybe let's start from the basics. Also, when have you heard for developer advocacy the first time? For example, for me, it was 2 years ago on Twitter, for example.
For me, it was when a very senior of a college senior of mine was working with a big FANG company, and she told me that she's working in the community, and she's working as a developer advocate. And trust me, that time, just like everyone else thought, I thought this is some legal job with that is into an actual advocate, and they just take care of all the wrong things that developers do. That's what I thought a developer advocate means. But cut short to last 6 months, when I actually started I started reading a lot about developer advocacy, is when I realized developer advocacy is a role which any basically literally every developer could do if they want to. And this is it's something that helps other developers reach their higher potential and get better at their development skills. And so, to give you background about when did developer advocacy come into picture and how did it come, so with recently there are a lot of SaaS companies coming up into the market. And with any SaaS product or any developer product, the product has to be explained to developers itself, right? That's where that's where developer advocates come into. They make sure that the product that they're advocating for is well explained to a developer, and the onboarding experience for that developer is really, really smooth, so that they do not have any issues while they're integrating their application, their ideas, with the set of product that the developer advocates for. That's where the word advocacy comes into. I hope that has
Nice.
given an idea.
Perfect. This has been really an amazing. Okay, let's see. It was an amazing answer. Let's see. To get into Web3, Oblivious Deb, can we? I think he was the guy who made the call. Can we make this question later? So let's talk about developer advocacy, and then we will step
Sure.
into Web3, because I think that we start talking about Web3, we will just talk about
We won't
that for
stop.
1 hour and a half. So I've left that on the last one on purpose. I just want to say this. Okay, so your experience as a developer advocate. Now you're working for Daisha.
Dasha.
Dasha,
Dasha.
sorry, Dasha, sorry.
Yes,
So,
Dasha.
can you talk a bit about your experience as a developer advocate? You can also introduce, of course, Dasha. And
Yes.
how do you find that? Because, for example, I've worked for 2 companies and half as a developer advocate, and I've noticed that there are way different requirements and people. So, your experience as a developer advocate. Thank you. It's a pleasure to have you here, by the way, if that was not obvious.
No, it is obvious. It's very obvious, and I'm glad I'm here. So a little bit about Dasha. We at Dasha, we basically build conversational AI as a service platform, and what that if you want me to break it down, we make sure that we give any developer the capabilities of conversational AI in their applications, and our mission and our major goal is to make the communications between any machine and the human very very smooth and natural, and very common, which actually will help any business to have a good front facing office, and to make sure that they have a great lead generation team, and it's not just humans handling it, but while we have the whole chatbots coming to picture, we make sure that the chatbots are more human like, and the conversational touch is added to them, so it's not very sad and dead as the normal chatbots are. That's our major goal, and that's what we do at Dasha. And the best part about this is you do not need to be a very you do not need to be a very experienced developer. Any JavaScript developer can pick up the tech stack of Dasha and integrate it in their application. So yeah, that's about
Nice.
Dasha. And I know. So to tell about my role, and if to answer your question about how my journey till now has been, I just have one word. It is a roller coaster ride. That's a one. That's not a one word, but I hope you understand my emotions. It's I personally enjoy working at Dasha a lot, and as a developer advocate more, because this is literally what I was doing even before I was working as a developer advocate, right? And to get into specifics, literally what I do is I talk to a lot of developers, first of all. That is one of them. I take feedback from them about Dasha. I ask them, did they like the product? What do they think we can do better? And if they have issues about integrating with Dasha, that's where I also help them. And yes, content creation is a very, very big part of developer advocacy. So I create content around my product, and not just around my product, but anything that I know will help developers integrate and onboard Dasha well. That is what I do. So this is about developer advocacy at Dasha. And I have an amazing team. I want to give a shout out to Insha, Srikaran, and yeah, there are more teams, and yeah, it's amazing. The team is pretty young, and we have a great time. So yeah, that's there.
Nice, 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 nice. Amazing, amazing. We have to find a way to collaborate. I think the best part of
Sure.
developer advocacy is when you collaborate with other developer
Yes.
advocate. It's amazing. Hi Tommy, how are you? How's it going? Pradumna, I see. Thank you for following me. Follows me very actively. Hey Timo, been a while since I watched a live stream. I have to catch this one. I know, I know. We are trying our best. Anonymous user say nothing. Franco, they learn Italian for free. You can check Italian videos. There are Italians teaching Italian in English on YouTube. Don't ask me because why I watched some of those videos. Okay, let's get this question. Sorry for interrupting the flow, but you are doing an amazing job. How do we identify which area of tech are we really passionate about, especially when we like all the trending tech that we have today, and I would like, and we also want to have a life in the meanwhile.
Okay. So Anushri, I think there is nothing wrong with liking or liking the trending tech. That's actually a good sign that you are up to date with what is happening in the tech world, and it's always good. But to understand what area of tech you like, you are obviously going to need to try things out. So unless you actually try a couple of things and see where so basically, to give you a very easy example, if there are 5 tutorials that you're trying out, just see that with which tutorial you want to learn more, and in which tutorial you want to do more than what the tutorial is saying. That could be your first cue saying, okay, this is what is making me more this is in this particular tech stack or something, I want to do more, I want to learn something that is more than that has been given, and not just follow the rules. That could be your first cue in identifying what you're really passionate about. And I guess it's a long journey. You won't This is not something that you will understand in a week or something. You really have to keep building. You really have to try different things. You'll have to have a lot of bugs. You'll have to bang your head. That's And still, if you come back to the same tech stack, that's when you realize you're passionate about that. So I think that's how you can
Amazing.
figure it out.
Yeah, amazing. I also can give my 2 cents because
Please.
it's great to be curious, but usually you don't get hired because you know how to make an hello world in 10 different languages, but because you are an expert in one language. I made a tweet or
Right.
something like that some weeks ago. Usually, one metric that you can use is time. For example, we all want to master everything, but if you end up your days, I don't know, trying to fix something with CSS for many days, maybe that's a signal that maybe you should focus on that part. This has been the exact thing for me with Docker. I ended up literally playing with Docker during nights, evenings, even before I was active on Twitter. So I realized that, okay, so maybe this is what I want to focus on. So this is
Right.
something very simple, of course, but I think that this is a great signal. Maybe we want to understand everything, but if you end up always, I don't know, creating React application, maybe this is where you want to focus. Best part is she's showing what she do. Perfect. Hey
Absolutely.
there,
Yes. Hi,
Avnish. You are
Avnish.
late. You are late. I scratch my head while writing HTML because in the beginning it's very hard. It's very hard to get started.
Yes, yes,
Usually
yes.
it gets better, especially
And
if
I
you keep
guess
going.
that's where like communities come into picture. That's where like following people like Francesco comes into picture, because you're going to see them every day, uh, come back and show up, which is very important if you're learning something. Even if you do not get it, even if you're stuck, what is important is to stick through the discipline and show up every single day. That's literally it. Show up even if it's an issue. See other people get motivated by their work, and I think that's all you will need to go ahead, I feel. Yeah.
Nice. I'll watch this part when I'll get demotivated. Fratim. I need that. Every dev needs to learn time management, or maybe they should stop sleeping. That's another solution. The passion you both have for what you do really shows. I know, Rob. Thank you. Was on a call, decided to stop. Nice. That was the best thing that you did today. Need to go back in a few minutes. Okay, Avnish, we forgive you. Thank you. Avnish is at 13 and he's amazing, by the way. This is a
Yes.
small parenthesis. Okay. Nice. So I think we are done for today. No, joking. Let's start with the last topic, which is the infamous Web3. So we will watch probably this video in a couple of years. We say, oh, now we are in Web5, but let's talk about this because there are some differences. If you have any basic or questions, you can drop them. We can try to help you, of course, but I just want to remind that we are more about how to get started because
Started.
for me, I don't know, Pratim, but for me, I'm just getting started, but I'm doing this daily. Has Pratim heard of the rising star in Tech Forge? This is something maybe we can go on be on this later. But I made a live stream when I created a character called Rennie Forge, which is a mix of Raza, Danny Thompson, and Jack Forge. So there is this imaginary character. I think he also has a YouTube profile now. Okay, nice. So how has been your experience with Web3? I've seen that you're also following some tutorials. So which are your plans for the future, and what can you say from your experience until now? Because you have some experience for sure, and you
Yes.
can share this if you want with us. Yes.
um
Yes,
to
thank you.
be to be really honest, the reason why I got into Web3 was also, I'll be really honest here, I do not want to lie, it was because of the whole FOMO of the whole tech industry getting into Web3. And at a point, the whole FOMO, Web3 was so strong that I decided, okay, I at least need to know what is happening here. I just cannot keep myself aloof from here, and I need to know what is, because yeah, blockchain has been there for a very long time, but we've seen the whole Web3 wave has come into picture since the couple of years. Like this year, it is really, really strong. So that's when I decided, okay, I at least, if I'm a developer, I'm a developer advocate, and I need to know, as one of the questions was asking about what are the trending techs, I need to know what is happening in Web3, and at least the as you said, like the basic hello world in Web3, that part I need to understand. That's how I got started with Web3. Like I wouldn't say I had like some initial liking or I loved Web3 or something like that. No, I wanted to just know what the whole community is doing. But as I went into it deeper, I realized that it's not just the whole word Web3, but it's understanding how the whole decentralized system is working. And that really blew my mind off. Like, if we are someone who's been on centralized systems all our life, we are using centralized servers, everything. So it's really interesting to see how things would happen when we are on a decentralized platform. And yeah, so till now my journey has been amazing in terms of I won't say I'm the tutorial hell, because it's not hell for me. I'm really enjoying the content that Web3 developers and content creators are creating. Like Raza is one, you are creating content, and that there's Oliver who's creating awesome content. So this is keeping me really, really busy. And my future plans I see is, because I've had a bit of background of working in like in the finance industry, I really want to explore the whole the DeFi part of it, the decentralized finance, and see how the basic lending and all the basic protocols work. And yeah, someday figure out having, like, at least before I have a good portfolio in crypto, I want to understand what is happening on the background so that I know my money is safe. But yeah, that's it.
Nice, nice, amazing. Hey, Aman, I made a
Yeah.
podcast as a guest with Aman on his YouTube channel. It will
Oh,
be published soon. I recorded that at 5 a.m. I can't remember what I said, but I said something. I tried to answer all the questions. What is Pratim going to name her first cryptocurrency? I don't know. You
um,
can go on Pratim Coins or something
I
like
think
that.
I no no I might call it hot chocolate, because I really like hot chocolate. So that's what I
Nice,
might call it.
nice. I will
Yeah,
buy that, to be honest.
you like it?
Yes, of course. Anyone
Okay,
here
I
use
like it too.
Utopia? I don't know what is that. So I don't know if you know about that, but I don't know this.
It seems like a peer-to-peer platform only, but
To
yeah,
clear,
yeah,
but
I don't know.
is this something related to gaming? No, I can say
I think
something wrong
this
here.
this is a question more for Oliver, Casey, and all of them. Like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Nice, nice. Whatever is it, nice, perfect, nice, Radim. So nice. So about 2022, and also, so what are you planning to study and focus on? Because I see that maybe we have something in common, which is that we do a lot of stuff. Okay, we at least people say this to me, because I honestly I feel that I'm slacking, but
Oh,
people say that, yeah,
please.
people say that do a lot of stuff, but maybe it's because now I'm enjoying this, because some years
Yes.
ago I was not that happy, let's say, of what I was doing. I was working a lot all the days, and now I'm also working all the days, but at least I'm Choco Coin. This is nice, this title. This can be. I'm looking at
Choco
a
coin.
script. I'm
Yeah.
looking at the
It's
script. Which script, Anonymous? There is no script. I'm just looking at the chat, which is I should put maybe here. Nice. The best compliment I have ever had in this interview series is that, Francesco, it seems that there is no script, even if it's scripted. Okay, so nice. That's the best compliment you can do. Okay. Yes, so plans for 2022, do you want to focus on something specific? And now, if you want, you can drop all the questions you want, please, in the chat. And please, Pratim, your plans. What do you want to do?
um yeah, so one of the things that I really want to focus on in terms of even the community and in terms of content creation is making the field of developer advocacy, developer relations more accessible and more understandable. And so a lot of people come to me and ask me, is social media management similar to developer advocacy? Is marketing the same thing as developer advocacy? What is developer evangelist? Like, are they the same thing? What is the difference between relations and advocacy? And there is so much ambiguity in the whole community and the whole tech world regarding developer relations. And I feel more people should get into this field, because this is what will help the community. And so every developer advocate is a developer to some extent. So I feel if we reach at a point where every developer is comfortable in the community and becomes a part of the community, I think we as a whole um, we as a whole generation will actually get better at what we are doing, and issues with being lonely and all of that won't be on our plate anymore. We will grow together. But yeah, in terms of the technicalities, metrics, so metrics and developer relations and advocacy is a very important thing, and there are very nuanced features to it which I want to talk about more. So I've started writing a lot about developer advocacy. You can check out my blog if you get a chance. But yes, I tend
Nice.
to focus more on that. That's my plan for 2022. And yes, build with Dasha more and make people understand what Dasha can do. That's on the work front. And other than that, build more myself. I want to build more APIs and make sure that I do not lose my touch with development. So we'll try to build more. And yes, Web3 is something I'm trying to build some dApps and see how better I can push myself. Yeah.
Nice. So I put in the chat the link to Pratim's Hashnode blog, and I was not following her on Hashnode, so I fixed this bug right now. I'm sorry, but I don't know if it makes sense so much to you follow it, because we are already connected almost
Yes.
everywhere. We also
Connected
fixed the
everywhere.
LinkedIn one. We had a very good question by Marco Denic is amazing. You have to do the episode 2, by the way, Marco. Pratim, where do you learn from? What learning resource would you recommend to someone who knows nothing about Web3?
I'm going to give you a very clear answer. The one resource to learn Web3, I can tell you, is actually join the Twitter community and follow people who write about Web3. Because rather than figuring it out yourself, going through the journeys of people who have already figured out is the best way you can do it. There are some amazing people to follow on Twitter with their Web3 journeys, and this is what I did. I literally, so Vito is a friend of mine, and he's a friend of ours. He's a friend. I really liked his whole roadmap for Web3, and I just picked up his blog and I decided to follow it, and that's been amazing. Like, why do you want to test the waters yourself? Excuse me. When you already have a roadmap built for you, that's the best way to go ahead with it. And with Marco, I guess who better to tell rather than Marco, because his roadmaps are amazing too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Let me just shameless plug my upcoming interview with another
Yes.
debit in a couple of weeks. I think I sent him a message, so I'll have him as for the second time on my YouTube channel. But this time, of course, we'll talk about Web3 since the beginning till the end. So if you're really interested into that, you can check that, of course. Okay, nice to see. Hey, Idris, how is it going?
Hi.
Yeah. Like the purpose of Pratim to make dev advocate role more accessible. This is amazing. It really
Thank
is.
you, Yash.
Yeah, it really is. Some questions, plural. Okay. Is Web3 very much different from Web2 or somewhat similar? Let's go one by one. No, maybe we can also add this because it's they're related. I'm a beginner, so which communities to join to learn more about Web3 and do some projects? I like that you added like do some projects because this was maybe could have been one of the tips. Yeah, Rishab. I don't know if I pronounced it well.
Yes.
Oops.
So, do you want to take the question or should I go ahead with it, Francesco? Because I think even
You
you
are the
will have
guest.
a.
You are the guest, so yeah,
Yes.
I thought when I'll be your guest and you'll be the host, you'll go first.
Done.
Let me be a
Done.
gentleman.
Done.
Go.
So we've always had different versions of web, right? So initially it was web 1, then where we did not, like, it was just one sided, there wasn't the whole client server part. Then came into picture web 2, where we had the whole client and server, two different parts to web 2. And just on the similar terms, we are into, you can say it's a third version of the whole web system, where things are not owned by one entity. That's what how different Web3 is. Like initially with Web2, we have a major service providers and major people who own a lot of things, and so they also end up owning our data. They also end up controlling our privacy and controlling what we do on the web. That's where Web3 comes into picture, where everything is transparent, everything is open for anyone and anyone to um, and anyone can see what is literally happening on the blockchain. And that's how Web3 is different. So you can say it is very different. At the same time, it is built on the same understanding, and it is a level up from what we had initially. So I don't know if I can give a better answer to that.
No, that's a great answer. Okay, so for example, of course, you can join the communities, join the people who post about Web3. What I suggest you, what I'm also doing, because I give as an example what I'm doing also, I like to waste some time on the concepts. So I'm
Yeah.
wasting time now because I really want to understand. I have a little bit of a math approach when I learn something. So I can definitely define myself a fast learner. So usually I don't know if I'm retarded or something, but for me usually it takes time to understand something because I really want to have a deep and solid understanding of some concepts. So now, for example, I'm going into not the details when I go on practice. Okay, so that's like an exercise. So you can use a framework, a hard hat. You can try a tutorial. I made a 6 hour
Right.
and a half live stream, so that's like exercising. When I study and when I share something, I try to focus on which are the concepts, and I also do this
Concepts.
on a daily basis. I can say this transparently. I go on the official documentation of Ethereum or Solidity, and I try to help and try to basically transfer this using different words on Twitter. Of course, I quoted the source, but for me, it's a good exercise because I focus on, okay, so these are the accounts, these are the concepts, these are the information. So I'm trying to focus on this because probably we'll have some new shiny framework also for Web3 in the future, but the concepts are here to stay. So all the concepts are related
Right.
to the blockchain, the wallet, what is an account, what is a transaction.
Right.
So that is gonna
What
stay.
is a
It's the
smart
same.
contract?
Yeah, it's the same exact thing with containerization and Docker because Docker is just one technology. Containerization are the concepts. So sometimes people they get confused a bit. If you want, we can make another episode, and there maybe I can say something more for something who is not from. By the way, yeah, it's great that we are getting this kind of questions. For someone who is not from
Yeah.
a development background, interesting. Well, Anushri, no. What roadmap do you suggest they should follow to start the development journey?
Um, so Anushri, I feel if you're not from a development background, something that I've seen that has really worked for non-developers is doing something that is that you can see. So in what I mean by that is when you start with front end development or like basic HTML, you actually when you're coding something, you actually see the output of it. Like you see a website building, and that gives you the initial motivation of building more. So if for me to suggest you development rather than starting with back end development, always start with front end development because it is easier, plus it is interesting, and it is very light to start with. You will develop more interest, and once you develop a little bit interest, then you can go back to the basics, the actual concepts of computer engineering and computer science. Like how does what is RAM, what the literal basics of computer science. You can always go back to it. But if you want to develop interest, do something that is interesting and fun to build. That is like take up small. You can take up assignments like how do you create a calculator or by HTML, or how do you do that, and that's how I think you will build interest.
Yeah, I would love to say to start with Docker, but I'll not say this. I agree with Pratim because it's very important to understand how things work. For example, you can start checking the current websites how they
Right.
are done. You can get some cool templates, and also I think if you start with the basics. At least when you just touch, let's say, just HTML and CSS, you don't get overwhelmed all the frameworks, all the things, or the CSS frameworks, so you understand how things they work, and then you can
Work.
you can take your path. I highly suggest
Free code camp.
yeah, Free Code Camp, of course, amazing. I did the live stream. I don't have the mug of Free Code Camp, sorry, but but yes, let's see, amazing. Francesco are following kind of similar paths to learn Web3. Bunch of content consumption is important too, apart from writing solidity, of course, of course. Other technologies, yes, amazing. There we go. Can you recognize him? It's Pratam with a different profile picture. Everyone is talking about Web3. I think I need to seriously consider Web3 space lol. Yeah, I always also saw this. I've seen people also judging, as usually it happens on Twitter for all the reasons. But honestly, I started Web3 like when I really wanted to, because I'm genuinely interested into that. So if you're really interested into something, if you're really interested into, I don't know, running or dancing, let's make the dancing an analogy. So if you're interested into dancing, even if everyone is laughing at you, but you really want to do that, you do that anyway.
Yeah.
So this is how it should work. So when you feel ready, you can take a look. And I'm using the same approach. I highly suggest to do this. For example, for me, doing this daily, I don't know, I need a challenge because I come from the sport world, so I need a challenge. But to do this, because I've seen it, I tried to share some content about Web3, then I stopped because I have always a lot of stuff to do. So I said, no, I want to do that, so I committed. So, for example, this is what tricks me. Yes, Pratam, let's do a Web3 Twitter space together. What do you mean? By the way, I don't want to say that I'm not Twitter space addicted and I can stop whenever I want. I want to say this. Is it because Ethereum Solidity is more developer friendly? It depends. There are people who like Solidity. People are more into Rust, which is, I think, for other networks. I'm not into Rust. But
Rust is with Solana, right? Rust is with Solana.
Yeah, and I think also for many other stuff.
Right.
For example, now I'm not checking into Rust. Otherwise, I would do the opposite of what I say. I'm just trying two different languages at the same time. No, I'm focusing just on something. When I want to create another project with Solana, then I learn Rust. I like this because I want to create something on the basically Ethereum blockchain. Perfect. Pratim, what's your preferred stack for Web3 apps? If you know some parts.
Yes. So I even put out a tweet like, be the React to my Solidity.
I remember that.
Yeah, so I think I'm finding it comfortable, like building, like I'm still building and I'm still learning concepts, but React and Solidity is something that I am sure that I'll go ahead with. And just to go back to Pratham's questions, not question, the statement that everyone is going around with Web3. To be honest, I don't know what will be my future with Web3. Currently, I am exploring Web3, as I've literally put it on my profile. I want to understand Web3 more. I am in the seeing phase with Web3. I don't know if I will date Web3 and then get into a relationship, but I am still understanding. Finally, I finally made Francesco laugh, but yes.
I've been laughing for literally 40 minutes, but it's okay.
So I don't know where Web3 will take me and how it is, but I'm enjoying my time right now. Okay, now everything that I say is going to go in the same analogy that I gave before. But yeah, let's see how it goes. I'm not in a hurry.
Yeah, me neither. For example, I already have my niche. Maybe one thing that I can say, because I see that there are many people who are very experts and they've worked on their niches also on social media, on articles. Also for me, let's say that I already have my niche. Don't give up on your current niche, because that could be the tendency to stop what you're doing and just jump on the new one. So if you are new on social media, maybe it's easier because you choose a journey Web3 and then if you already, I don't know if you are already recognized, let's say, I don't know, like a CSS expert, I'm just doing an example, I suggest to keep staying on that niche and just expanding that. The funny part will be when you try to mix your two niches and having some content which is both from your
Right.
old niche and your new one. I'm working on this. I want to mix Docker with Web3, but at some points I'll make it. I'm working on this, and that could be very, very interesting. Yeah. On my side, I don't have much experience about the stack. I've tried a hard hat and other stuff, but basically
Truffle is
the
there, right? Hard hat, truffle. So there are a
I've
lot of environments.
I've used the truffle in the online tutorial. So I tried from zero in live stream.
Okay.
It also looks nice. So for now, I'm not focused on frameworks because they're also evolving. So I'm more focused on concepts
Concepts.
and try to do. There are, for example, this kind of nice tutorials that you can do online. So, for example, I'm really looking for something like that, which is nice. Nice. With better in-depth documentation, I agree, because it's moving too fast. Have you ever? Nice. Pratam has changed his profile picture. Amazing,
Woohoo!
amazing. This is an epic moment. Perfect. Curious to know, have you ever involved into any DAO, which is yeah.
Not yet, not yet. I want to, but as I said, just similar to Francesco, I am just getting started with Web3 and I want to understand the concepts. And I'm literally even understanding how, like, the concepts of blockchain and Ethereum and all of that. So I will take it slow and I will understand the concepts first and I will simultaneously build, but as of now, not yet. So that's, let's see. But future in the future, and as I go ahead, I will, but as of now, not yet.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Francesca. I tried Solidity and it felt very similar to JavaScript
Yes.
because Solidity is inspired by JavaScript, Python,
Yes.
and I think C++. So I think this has been done on purpose, Daniel. So yes, absolutely. So, Pratim, let's make a final message for someone who is watching. We have managed to touch all the topics. So these were basically 3 interviews in the same day. Yeah, I think you did great, way better than me at the first time. So you can just do better. Yes. So before wishing you again great 2022, can we leave final message? I've seen that people are very interested into Web3, but maybe in general, because I think that the topic that we have discussed, they are connected, because the developer advocacy is connected with public speaking, of course.
Yes.
The Web3 companies, they are urging for
Looking.
developer advocacy. So
Right.
those 3 concepts, they are linked together. So
Linked.
yeah, can we make a final thought? Yeah, there are there are too many compliments. We are full of compliments. Yeah, thank you, Yash.
Thank you, Yash. Thank you.
Yeah,
As a
please.
developer advocate, I have one request and one comment for everyone is please read the documentation and do not be scared of the documentation, because that is the gospel. Take it as the gospel. And if you have any issues with the documentation, please reach out to the developer advocate of any of the particular product that you're reading the documentation. And yeah, so do not be scared of documentation is a blanket statement that I'll give it to everyone, because I remember being scared of it. And if you actually just, it looks a bit boring. I'm going to be honest, it's not as interesting as our tutorials or blogs are, but keeping in mind the whole community and the different kind of developers, it has to be the way it is. So yeah, uh, read the documentation. And as a message to everyone, whoever is watching this video, I think, do not stop believing in yourself and do not let the imposter syndrome take the best out of you, because you are what you believe. And I remember I started my journey a few months back, and to be honest, I did not think I would be where I am. But just keep working hard, and trust me, in no time, you wouldn't know what heights you've reached. So please keep building, folks. That's all I have to say.
To be honest, I was sure about that, but now it seems that I was through it. But we are just getting started with 2022. So thank you, Pratim, first of all, for coming here, for being for making me your very first host in a live stream. I really felt honored. people in chat are saying thank you to everyone. I hope that this has been useful, at least for one person. It will be already
Yes,
worth.
I hope.
But yeah, I really hope so. And basically, we are doing these kind of live streams, to help people. We are trying to have interesting and great guests, as Pratim, of course, is. Please remember to follow her. Let me find her Twitter profile. She is very close to 10,000, and we are going to make a party when we reach that. So please do that, because I think it's very important to be connected with the right people who spreads positivity. They help you, they support you, they are open for collaborations. They are really true people, and not just people who are just on social media to ask and send high messages. So that's very important, because I try to repeat that there are always people behind the keyboard and the monitors.
Right.
We are not just developers coding all day long. We like to laugh, but we should not sleep and not eat. That's true. Okay, that's funny. But it's important to create a strong and real connection. Social media. This can really change, can be a game changing for
Right.
your social media experience. Maybe you will not get the same number of likes. Maybe you will get a different number of followers, but it doesn't matter, because if you know someone for real, first of all, it's great for real opportunities. And
Yes.
yes, Pratim is the perfect example of this. Thank you.
Example. Yes.
You
Yes.
did great, and I really love that even if she's an introvert, she managed to come here. So yeah, let's congratulate to her, because this has been it's been an honor, to be honest. Yeah, go Pratim, amazing, amazing. Now you can just do better. Follow Pratim, make 10K happen today, as soon as possible. Come on, thank you. Amazing, enjoy very much.
I
It's
want to
amazing.
say my thanks. I
Amazing.
want to say my thanks because I remember. Okay, so I remember like you have been one of the most you have been one of the very first people that I interacted on Twitter, and as you said, connections, real connections will take you very very far in your journey. So make sure you're building real connections and getting to know people personally on a personal level. Not everyone, obviously, but some people will stick with you, and make sure you're helping everyone, because being kind is the kind does not take anything, but it does have really really good effects on everyone. Yeah. I
Yeah.
think I'm a bit emotional.
Perfect. I think, amazing, amazing. We are looking forward. I think we will have a Twitter space together soon.
Yes,
Just
sure.
a little, last very little shameless plug. We will have Sumudu next week, so
Yes,
we are looking
go
forward for
Sumudu.
that. Yes, Francesco is super supportive. Yeah, I remember that I have made this Twitter space with Chris Miller. He found a comment that I made the 30th of August 2018 on a Twitter that has also been deleted. So I can't even remember who I said to that. That comment got 0 likes, but that's okay, because I had like zero presence. But this is also, for example, how we start, because I think that once you, to be honest, I started to create content to give back to the community, but the more you give back, the more you get. So it's I can't. I will always be in debt, I think,
It's a
forever.
cycle.
So yeah, I think I'll keep being in debt, because I have just one, and there is the whole tech community giving back to me. So I'm alone, and I can't. I can't. Yeah, still sometimes confused Franco with Sean. I don't know who are you talking about. Probably I'm similar to someone. Never give up has been
Yeah,
my
never give up
never give
and
up
just
has been
start.
Never give up, yeah, has been in my state for like 3 years. You're also an awesome man. That's just it. Also, Pratim is an awesome woman, of course. Pratim, I'm sad because we are done. I don't know. Can
Yeah.
we stay another 3 hours? Just 3 hours, or maybe we'll make another episode. But we are done for
Yes.
today. Perfect. So
Yes.
say hi in the chat. We are done. Pratim, want to say something?
Thank you.
Just we are
Yeah.
closing. Hi
Yes. Thank you
everyone.
so much, everyone. And Francesco is an amazing person. Make sure you're following Francesco. Obviously, you will, but thank you so much, Francesco, for giving me this opportunity, and keep growing. And all the best to everyone for their new year. Yeah. That's all.
Nice, present,
Bye
amazing,
bye.
amazing profile picture. Bye bye. Bye bye. Yeah, you're sad. I don't know. I know, Maida. We have to go. Next time. Bye bye. Bye bye. We're closing.